CTF secrets, enumeration without guessing. You're doing a CTF. You run your Nmap scan. You poke around at a few services. You're trying a couple of things. Nothing works. So you go and check a walkthrough. And the answer was right there. It was in your scan output. It was on the web page you already visited. You just missed it. If that's happened to you more than once, this video is going to fix it. I'm going to walk you through the exact enumeration method I use so that you stop guessing your way through boxes and start actually finding the attack path yourself. As a quick bonus, HaxrByte gave me some lab vouchers to give away. I'll drop a question later in the video. Answer it in the comments and I'll send one your way. The problem. Here's what I think is actually going on. Most people don't have an enumeration problem. They have a processing problem. What I mean by that is, you're running the right tools. You know how to use Nmap. You know how to run GoBuster. You've probably got a decent word list. The tooling isn't the issue. The issue is what happens after the tool finishes. You get this wall of output and you don't have a system for working through it. So you skim it. You latch onto whatever looks interesting and you go down a rabbit hole. And when that doesn't work, you feel stuck because you've run out of ideas, not out of information. That's what separates someone who's guessing from someone who's actually enumerating. Same information, completely different approach. The method, 4 phases. Here's what I do. It's 4 phases. It's dead simple. And once it clicks, you'll stop needing walkthroughs to tell you what you should have already found. Phase 1. What's open? This is port scanning. And I know everyone does this, but most people don't do it thoroughly. They'll run a default Nmap, see port 80, maybe port 22, and immediately jump to the web server. But they've only scanned the top 1000 TCP ports. They haven't done a full port scan. They haven't checked UDP at all. And then they check the walkthrough. And it turns out the foothold was on some high port they never even saw. That's not because the box was hard. It's because the scan wasn't thorough enough. So, phase 1. Just be thorough. Scan everything. Read everything that comes back, even the boring stuff. Write it all down. Phase 2. What's running? Okay, so now you know what ports are open. Phase 2 is figuring out exactly what's running on each one. Service enumeration, version detection, banner grabbing. This is where people stop too early. They'll see HTTP and move on. But what web server is it? What version? Is it Apache, NGX, IIS? What version number? Is there anything in the headers that's unusual? Same thing for every other service. SSH. What version of OpenSSH? Is it old enough to have known vulnerabilities? SMB. Is it configured to allow anonymous access? FTP. Does it allow anonymous logon? You want to walk away from this phase knowing exactly what's sitting on each port. Specific versions, specific configs, how things are behaving. Not just, yeah, there's SSH on 22. That tells you nothing. Phase 3. What's exposed? This is the phase people rush through the most, and it's usually where the answer is. Phase 3 is about asking, what is each service actually showing me? Not what is it. You figured that out in phase 2. What is it revealing? For a web server, that means directory brute forcing, checking for common files, reading the page source, looking at comments in the HTML, checking for hidden parameters. For SMB, it means listing shares, checking permissions. For FTP, it means logging in anonymously and seeing what's there. Every single service gets its own mini enumeration pass. You're not just hitting the home page and calling it down. You're pulling at every thread on every service and you're writing all of it down. This is where you find the stuff that actually matters. The config file that has a password in it. The backup file that shouldn't be publicly accessible. The directory listing that exposes an admin panel. It's all in phase 3. Phase 4. What's vulnerable? Now and only now, you start looking for exploits. And here's why this order matters. If you jump to phase 4 too early, you're searching for exploits with vague information. You're typing something generic into search exploit and hoping for the best. That's guessing. But if you've done phases 1 through 3 properly, you're searching with precision. You've got a specific software name, a specific version number, maybe even a specific configuration. Your searches are targeted, and when you find something, you know exactly where to apply it. That's a completely different game. You're not just throwing stuff at the wall anymore. You're actually knowing what you're looking for. Now, before the most important part, quick voucher drop. Hack the Box Labs VIP Plus 1 month voucher. The question is on screen. Using the 4-phase method, what should you do when you get stuck? Drop GhostShell in the comments with your answer, and I'll pick a random winner from the correct ones. Now back to the video. The mindset shift. Alright, this is the part I really want you to take away. When you get stuck, the answer is almost always go back a phase. Not try harder at the phase you're on. Go back. If you can't find an exploit, it's probably because you missed something in phase 3. If phase 3 isn't giving you anything, it's probably because you didn't fully map out what's running in phase 2. And if phase 2 looks thin, you probably didn't find all the open ports in phase 1. Most people, when they get stuck, they double down. They keep trying the same thing harder. They're staring at the web app trying different payloads, when the actual path in was through a SMB share they never enumerated. They've got tunnel vision on one service, when the answer was on a port they glossed over 20 minutes ago. So when you hit a wall, take a step back, go back a phase, check what you missed. 9 times out of 10, that's where the answer is. In conclusion, and that's really it, 4 phases. What's open, what's running, what's exposed, what's vulnerable, in that order. And when you're stuck, go back a phase. It's not rocket science, but just having it in your head makes a big difference when you're sitting in front of a box. Instead of spiraling, you just work through it. And if you want to keep learning, watch this video next, where I break down the key differences between pen testing and red teaming in cybersecurity. I'll see you in that one.